Hello everyone. I'm making another video. I checked to see that my first video upload has one view, which would be myself, which is quite good. I was worried that it was going to go super viral and that I would have to deal with the consequences of that happening, which would be, it's a lot for that to happen. So I was quite relieved it only had one view, being myself. At the end of the last video, I talked a little bit about metaphysics and how that's a focus of my life. And metaphysics, is really interesting. And I like to start, I suppose, with Plato and his idea of Platon, excuse me, and his idea of Platonic shapes and solids, a Platonic table, for example, being an ideal table that can't really exist in our realm, but exists in a pure form in a different higher realm, so to speak, which is, I think very interesting if you look at different dimensions and stuff like that. It's kind of a precursor to dimension theory, which is very popular. Excuse me. Dimension theory is tying now into quantum theory and quantum mechanics and multiverse theory. There's so many things, and I think that we really need to take a step back and think about how we choose to conceptualize ideas, because, you can conceptualize something in a new way that sounds and seems, innovative and truthful. But, Einstein himself said that when he gave out the theory of general relativity and special relativity, that they weren't the pure truth, but rather that they were concepts that could be used, but that could be adapted and changed. So I think it's important for us to recognize that instead of saying that it's set in stone, these theories, because inevitably they always change. They're more of, models of reality, and they're not reality themselves. And I think that's important to understand as we try to conceptualize new theories. On that point, it seems that I've drawn myself back into science and not touched too much on metaphysics. But metaphysics, there's some interesting stuff that I work with. I work with chi energy in my doing yoga and meditation. I've had some very clear experiences with chi energy, one being my cat being very attracted to chi very clearly. I'll hold out my hand and doing yoga, and if I'm not operating the chi, she doesn't care, but if I am, she'll actually jump up and hit my hand, a couple 4 feet in the air. So also I've just had feelings of the energy in my hand that were undeniably strong and had flow and vibe, and also certain book pages turning. But in terms of all that, it's I think the chi energy, it feels good. I'm not really sure how to use it nicely yet, but I do meditate a lot, and that certainly helps my life. And then also, geometry is very important in understanding society and the movement of people in society. Also, the creation of buildings and stuff, and the movement of people through space, which also is a movement of information, ideas, knowledge, emotion through space as well. And so when you understand spatial dynamics using metaphysics, but also, Euclidean geometry and just basic geometry, you can begin to understand the emotional space of things better as well. Newton was very interested in metaphysics, as was Pythagoras, as was many other great scientists. I had one on the top of my head, but I lost it. But either way, I think then the theme of this talk tonight is that when we try to come up with new ideas, we should think about not striving for a perfect truth, but striving for something that allows us to see the world in a new way that opens up new opportunities. And I think that's a big distinction that Einstein recognized and when he laid down his theories. And so as we dive deeper into quantum, I think we should think about that as well. Thanks.